He was one of the greatest entrepreneurs of his time. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Inspirational Motivational Teaching on Tyrone Bowman tonight. Before I start talking about John H. Johnson, the founder of Ebony magazine, I want to talk about this real quick. Have you considered subscribing to Tyrone Bowman tonight? And if not, why not? Simply hit the subscribe button if you like Tyrone Bowman tonight and the topics that we have been talking about and the ones that we will be talking about as we continue to evolve and grow and perfect all the kinks, all the kinks with the channel. We've been having a lot of problems with the channel as of late, but we're going to get them worked out and everything is going to work out fine in the end. A lot of work goes on behind the scenes that most people don't know about, but check it out though. Check out the Tyrone Bowman Tonight channel here. Subscribe and please like the videos. We appreciate it very much. Follow me across social media. On Instagram, it's Tyrone Bowman 3. If you go over there, you'll find a lot of great stuff. Also, check out my reels. I've recorded over 300 plus reels. Simply go to Facebook, Tyrone Bowman. Look for the big microphone and look for my reels. Over 300 of them. Follow me on TikTok at Tyrone Bowman 7210. Now tonight, I want to talk about one of the greatest men who lived, and we all loved Ebony magazine. We all loved Jet magazine. In our homes across America, you couldn't go into any households of us as a people, and not find the Ebony or Jet magazine. It was on every coffee table, on every end table. Sometimes you found them on the floor, sometimes you found them in the trash, but there was always Ebony and there was always Jet magazine. That's how we got our news, from Ebony and from Jet. You never know what you can achieve in life until you get started. One of the biggest problems with most individuals in life, before they even fail at something, they won't even try to succeed. Nothing is guaranteed. For those, listen, when you go to the casinos, you're not guaranteed to win. I've been to the casinos. I see how people lose a lot of money, but they keep on trying. They keep on trying. Why? Because they want to win that big money. I've seen them lose 100, 200, 300, 400, thousands of dollars. And I ask myself, why don't you take what money you have and just leave? But they are trying to get that, what they consider that big money, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $100,000. They'll spend any amount of money to get it, but you don't see them quitting. When someone is in a relationship with someone, they can be problematic, troublesome. They can even keep talking about how much they hate them, but they'll never give up trying to be with them. They can't stand to be with them, but they don't want to be without them. That's another topic for another day. But this book right here, let me move my microphone out of the way. Succeeding Against the Odds. Let me let that stand up there for a minute. Succeeding Against the Odds. I'm going to read that jacket cover. Now, I want you to really, really check this out. As a matter of fact, I'm rereading this book right now. During the time that John H. Johnson founded Ebony magazine, aka the Johnson Publishing Company, at that time in America, a black person did not own a publishing company. It was unheard of. You had Look magazine, Life magazine, Time magazine, Digest Weekly magazine, but you didn't have a magazine that focused on the positive side and the prosperous side of black life. And this is where John H. Johnson came in. So let me read what it says here on the jacket. The American dream still lives, succeeding against the odds. The inspiring autobiography of one of America's wealthiest entrepreneurs, John H. Johnson, with LaRon Bennett Jr. We are live tonight. If you happen to stop by the channel and check us out and preview it for a minute or so, be glad to have you. As I said earlier, we're working to make this channel more better than it has been, trying to create an atmosphere where I can really sit down and talk with the movers and shakers. With the movers and shakers in our world. Doesn't matter if you're local or famous. Here, Tyrone Bowman tonight, listen to me carefully, because I mean exactly what I'm saying. We do not discriminate in any way. Doesn't matter to me if you're black, white, Hispanic, Latino, Japanese, your place of origin, your sexuality, your gender, doesn't matter. I just want to talk to you. I'm interested in having a conversation with men and women who are making a difference in our world and in our life and in people's lives. That's what matters to me. Individuals who are making a difference. The difference makers are the ones who cause the world to go around. So listen to what I'm about to read here. In 1919, John H. Johnson was born in a tiny roofed house near the river levees in Arkansas City, Arkansas. How did he get from there to a Lakeshore Drive condominium on the banks of Lake Michigan? How did he escape from desperate poverty to become the most successful black businessman in American history and a member of the Forbes 400 list of wealthiest Americans? Here in an autobiography as open and high-spirited as the author himself, Johnson gives us his dramatic and inspiring life story, how he founded Ebony magazine and built a multi-million-dollar cosmetics and insurance empire, all from the $500 he borrowed, using his mother's furniture as collateral. It is a vivid eyewitness account of the black struggle to make the American dream a reality, a black reality, from the days of Jim Crow to the Camelot of the Kennedy administration, and even to the Reagan White House, rich with the business wisdom and wit of an irrepressible entrepreneur, succeeding against the odds, is also a primer to teach others, regardless of their color, how to make the journey to incredible financial and personal accomplishment in their lives. Johnson takes the reader along when his determined mother leaves behind everyone and everything she knows to take the train north to Chicago, because that's where her son can get a high school education. The hard years, the short but shameful years on welfare, gave way as Johnson goes after his dreams with unstoppable energy. Here are the real-life lessons he learned, his can't-fail advice to new entrepreneurs, the important tips he learned from politicians, wow, and other top achievers, his 3 rules for selling anybody anything in 5 minutes or less, and the special Johnson radar that beams in one of those ideas that are sure to make money. But most of all, John H. Johnson shares us his vision. In 1945, he was convinced that black Americans needed positive images to fulfill their potential. And so he created the magazine Ebony. He believed then and believes now that you have to change images before you can change acts and institutions. He also says, my story is not a black story or a white story. It is a green story. You better believe that, baby. It is an inspiration to everyone who aspires to break loose from the chains of mediocrity and poverty. This man of strong ideas puts forth the values that shaped his life. The importance of hard work, strong family support, and a healthy and sound mind and body. Today, he lives on the, or he did live, Mr. Johnson passed on in the early 2000s. He lives on the highest mountain in Palm Springs next door to Bob Hope. He has lunched with presidents and met with Gorbachev. So you know this a long time ago. He's beaten the odds against them. Now he tells the secrets to dreamers and listen. And long shots everywhere. And the message he delivers is, this is how I made it, and how you too, and how you can too. So when was this book written? Let me look here at the copyright part. Let's talk about it on Tyrone Bowman Tonight. This book was written in 1989. 1989. I want to find out when Mr. Johnson passed on here. I'm going to look it up on Wikipedia. We're going to go there real quick because it's good to know these things. Let's see, John H. Johnson. All right, here it is right here. So, Mr. Johnson. He was born January 19th, 1918, and he died August 8th, 2005. So he was an American businessman and publisher. Johnson was the founder in 1942 of the Johnson Publishing Company, headquartered in Chicago, Illinois. Johnson's company, with its Ebony 1945 and Jet 1951 magazines, was among the most influential African-American businesses in media in the second half of the 20th century. In 1982, Johnson became the first African-American to appear on the Forbes 400. In 1987, Johnson was named Black Enterprise Entrepreneur of the Year. In 1996, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And as you can see here, give you a clear, good shot, Mr. Johnson. Close up. He was the man. I said Mr. Johnson was the man. He interviewed everybody, talked with everybody, and Ebony magazine. I wish Ebony magazine, the way we knew it when we were growing up, was still around today. I'm going to read something here from inside the book here. I'm not going to read the book, but you can get a copy of this just like I did. All right. I got this from Amazon, and you can get a copy of Amazon as well. So this is what Mr. Johnson wrote in the prologue. It's entitled View from the Mountaintop. Quote, everybody told me no at first, including my wife. I turned the no's into yeses and the disadvantages into advantages. In the process, I made hundreds of millions of dollars and discovered how to succeed against the odds. I was asked many times to publish my story, but I refused because circumstances made it impossible to tell the unvarnished truth. Circumstances have changed, and I can now tell the true story of how I rose from the welfare rolls to the roll of the 400 richest Americans. My story, a story addressed to dreamers and long shots everywhere, begins where all good stories begin, at the beginning, with my first real November. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fact. When you want something, when you want to achieve something, when you want to excel and overcome, and too many of you all, you keep giving up on your dreams. This is not some hocus pocus stuff I'm talking about here. This is not some fly-by-night whimsical affirmative things that you just say and listen to when you go to sleep at night. I'm talking about reality. And the reality is this: achieving success and wanting success are two different things. The achievers are the ones who go out there, they stop complaining, they stop moaning, they stop groaning, and they get the job done. All of us have faced hardships and disappointments. All of us have gone through circumstances and situations where it seemed like it would be impossible to get ahead in life. Sometimes you go through a living hell. Sometimes you go through 1 and 2 marriages. Sometimes you end up with a broken heart. And sometimes it seems like setback after setback after setback comes. But if you have that stick to itness and you don't quit, my motto is never surrender, never quit. And if you will stick to it and never surrender and never quit, you're going to succeed no matter what your occupation is, no matter what you want to become. Reverend Ike always said, you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have what you want to have. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? Get a copy of it. Succeeding Against the Odds. I put this book in the short video section on my YouTube channel. I'm going to put it there again tonight once this video is ended. Why? Because it's important that people know that this book exists. Know that this story exists. With all the negative images that is constantly put out in the news media and the propagandists are constantly showing our young people and us in negative frames 24 hours a day. And I'm telling you, get that out of your psyche and get that out of your subconscious mind. They don't tell you about the millions, the hundreds of us that are graduating from Ivy League universities. They don't tell you about those of us who are achieving and excelling in business as never before. They don't tell you about us, those who are the discoverers and the entrepreneurs, or in the new age inventors. You're talking about AI. Do you think AI would exist without us? Don't you fool yourself. Artificial intelligence is just fact. It's artificial. And the intelligence that the artificial robot has is given to the brain of the computer from the programmer. What are you programming your mind with? Or who is programming your mind? Get your mind cleaned out. Get your mind right. So you too can begin to succeed against the odds. Never surrender. Never quit.